Hey, it's Zane. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in once again. Really appreciate you being here. I'm going to keep today's video relatively short. I've got a bunch of coaching calls to get to today. A number of you have booked coaching calls with me, and I want to thank you for that. I know you'll get great value from spending some time with me today. But I want to talk about why I believe Bitcoin is just such a crucial asset that you and I are involved in right now to avoid the coming financial melt up. And, I'm a great believer that what we're going to see is not so much a correction in the market in terms of real estate and stocks, even Bitcoin. What I believe we're going to see is what the likes of Raoul Pal and Mark Moss are saying, and that is we're going to see a great financial melt up. And in a way, the result is going to be the same for those who don't own assets. A lot of people are going to have their livelihoods decimated in this great financial melt up, but essentially it's a hyperinflationary collapse. It's a different type of collapse because rather than it being a price correction where the value of or the price of things goes down violently, what we're going to see is a hyperinflationary correction where the price of everything goes through the roof at a rapid rate. And what this is going to do is essentially cause so many people to no longer be able to effectively afford to be able to sustain themselves. And this is a real problem. We can see it coming because, like Michael Saylor says, he talks about the road to serfdom being working exponentially harder for a currency that is growing exponentially weaker. That is the road to serfdom, the road to peasantry. When you have to work your ass off harder and harder and harder, your wife needs a job, you need a job, your kids need a job, they need to stay at home because you all need to be able to afford the mortgage or the rent. And you're working as many hours as you possibly can, but you can't seem to get ahead. That is the road to serfdom. And so many people are living that way now, and they can't quite put their finger on why that is. And they don't realize that they're on the road to serfdom right now. They are working harder, sacrificing their time and energy for a currency that is being destroyed. And the only protection, the only life-raft from this, in my opinion, is Bitcoin. Yes, other assets can save you to a degree. Real estate, stocks, bonds, to a degree. Although I'd say bonds is probably way down the list. But yes, unless you're parked in assets of some kind, you are really a sitting duck in this great financial melt-up. But I believe that the greatest life raft that you and I can spend our time and energy learning about and acquiring as quickly as we can is Bitcoin. And the reason for that, there are several reasons for that, actually, as you well know. Number one is its absolute scarcity, the fact that they can't print any more Bitcoin, and so any holdings that you have in Bitcoin is a way of protecting your financial future because you're holding on to an asset that is going to preserve and protect and grow its economic value over time. So scarcity is number one. Number two is decentralization. We have to understand that in a world that is becoming more and more centralized and with the powers that be are attempting to exercise more control all of the time and to impose greater regulations and taxation and everything that we do, we need to be thinking in a more decentralized way. We need to be looking at ways that we can opt out as much as we possibly can so that we're not in the firing line of all of this stuff. And so this is what Bitcoin provides. Bitcoin gives us an escape hatch and a way to diversify a part of our financial life so that it is sovereign, it is separate from the collapsing system. And so this is really, really important. And I was listening to an interview yesterday with Peter Dunworth. He was on the Simply Bitcoin podcast. If you haven't checked it out, I'd highly recommend that you do that. Peter Dunworth is an Australian Bitcoin maxi, ex-financial planner who is now advising high net worth individuals on succession planning and Bitcoin custody, etc., etc. But he's been doing the rounds on the podcasts in the last month or two, and really letting everybody know that Bitcoin's best days are ahead of us. He believes that the prospect of Bitcoin ever going to zero now is off the table, simply because it has now effectively been endorsed by the US government, the most powerful government on earth. And whether you agree with that or not is beside the point. The reality is that you have to take that into consideration. I mean, Bitcoin now is an idea whose time has come. It's not going away. And even with all of this bullish news and this bullish sentiment in the market, BlackRock and institutions, Wall Street, the US government, emerging countries like El Salvador, making Bitcoin legal tender and completely transforming their countries. Bhutan, we know that the UAE is acquiring Bitcoin. We know that this is happening around the world, and yet most people are still asleep, not paying any attention to this, not realizing that it's obvious what is coming. And when we have a fixed, scarce, finite asset that is decentralized in Bitcoin, and we have an opportunity to participate in this wealth transformation, a lot of people are still ignoring it. And so really my message today is just to, again, reiterate how important it is to keep stacking sats, keep furthering your conviction, furthering your knowledge. Every time you get somebody in your ear, or you listen to somebody who causes you to doubt the path that you're on, this is the time where you just need to read more, listen more, learn more, and just stay on path. And Bitcoin, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Life is a journey. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. And Bitcoin emulates how it is that we should be living our life. Delaying gratification for a brighter future, planning for the future, knowing that how we're storing our economic value and energy is going to be preserved and protected. But when you're trading your time and energy and intellectual knowledge and skill set and output for a currency that is being destroyed, that is the road to serfdom. And this is the pathway we want to get away from, that we want to separate ourselves from. Peter Dunworth believes that Bitcoin has 100x ahead of it in the next 10 years, and he stated this on the Simply Bitcoin podcast, and he believes that 1,000x in the next 15 years. So, if you've been listening to my videos in the last couple of weeks, and when I've been talking about this reverse CAGR calculator, compound annual growth rate, looking at the historical growth rate of Bitcoin over the past decade, plotting some numbers into that calculator so that you can plot a financial plan for yourself and your retirement. If you've been listening to my numbers, you'll know that my numbers are way, way under that. Peter Dunworth is way more intelligent than I am. He's been in this space a lot longer than I have, and he's a very highly intellectual, economic mind and financial mind. And he's saying that Bitcoin has 100x in front of it in the next 10 years, 1,000x in 15. I mean, I'll go with that. But for me, it doesn't really matter whether it does 7, 8, 10, 15, 100, 1,000x. For me, that's not what's important. For me, what's important is that I'm a part of this world's first global true free market, where I get to engage with people who are of a like mind, who exchange value, where we work together to see a better world. That's why I'm in this. This is what this is about for me. This is not about 100 or 1,000 or 10,000x, even though I believe that's going to be a byproduct of the journey we're on. For me, it's all about sharing, educating, helping one another, being a part of a free market that honors value, and where we get to exchange ideas, exchange value, and just see a brighter and better world. And so that's why I'm here. But the melt up is coming. Don't sit around and wait for the price of homes to go to 50 cents in the dollar. I don't believe that that's going to happen. I don't believe they're going to allow that to happen. I don't believe they can allow that to happen, because there would be that much blood on the streets. Can you imagine a situation where people's house prices in the USA, in Australia, if all of a sudden they fell overnight by 40 or 50%? I mean, everybody's livelihood and wealth is tied to their family home. And so it can't happen. Real estate has been hyperinflated, over-financialized, and they're in too deep now. The only way to keep this train going, this Ponzi scheme, this debt-based structure that is hopelessly under-collateralized. Peter says we don't have a debt problem, we have a collateral problem. There's not enough collateral to support the debt, and what he's talking about is real collateral, not collateral that's been hyperinflated and that it has so much wasted premium in it like real estate does. He's talking about real collateral, and he believes that so much of the premium in the likes of real estate and the stock market is going to find its way into Bitcoin at a very, very rapid rate in the near future. People are going to start to wake up and realize that they do not want all of their wealth stationary and centralized in a control system. People are going to want to diversify their life out of the control system so that they are in control, so that they are financially autonomous. Wealthy people are smart people. Sometimes it takes them a while to unwind everything that they know and that has allowed them to create wealth in the first place, even if it is in this fiat system, in this debt-based system. There's a lot of people who have been very, very successful in that system, and they still believe today that that system, is going to continue. But it won't be long before people start to realize that, hang on a minute, there is a better way. There is this new monetary protocol, this technology that is here now, that is repricing real estate, that is repricing the stock market. And this is where we're going to see a transformation and a shift to Bitcoin like you've never seen before. And so the opportunity's there. Don't mess this up. Like I said, there's only 3 things for you and I to worry about. Number 1 is to keep stacking sats and further your education if you're in any doubt. Number 2 is to hold on for dear life. Do not get shaken out of this market. Have a long-term view. Know that you're on the right track. You're part of a value system, a new monetary network that is going to transform the world. And number 3, do not lose your Bitcoin. Secure your Bitcoin in self-custody. Make sure you have a Bitcoin-only, air-gapped, open-source wallet, and just make sure that you do all the right things in terms of security protocols. So I'm going to leave it there today. The great melt-up is here. I want you to avoid it. I want you to protect your financial life, your financial security, your retirement, everything that you've worked so hard to build and create for yourself. And this is the path we're on, and I'm here to help guide you through it. If you need my help in a one-on-one setting, I offer one-on-one calls. I do them every week. People get enormous value from my calls. I can help you with, guiding you with any questions you may have, security solutions, self-custody solutions. If you're looking to set up a retirement account through a Bitcoin-friendly self-managed super fund, I can guide you in the right direction with that. So just let me know. There's a link down below where you can book a call in my calendar if you'd like to do that. Other than that, have a great day. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of my community. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you feel you'd like to do that. I read them all. Have a great day. This is Zane signing out. I'll see you in the next one.